Hello, awakened beings. Welcome to this channel. Here I do tarot and oracle readings to support you along your spiritual journey. If that interests you, feel free to check out any other content on the channel as well as interact with this video as you feel called to. Today's reading is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, August 2026 predictions. Let's get started. Whoa. Chariot. Cancer energy on the board. Or Cancerian. Wait. Okay. There's movement and progression. I'm just trying to figure out if you're going towards something or away from something. Maybe both. It feels, yeah, it does feel like both. It feels very independent, so I'm not picking up on anybody else in this reading so far. Especially with this King of Pentacles. Like you're making some sort of decision for yourself. I mean, it could impact your household and family, perhaps. But it just seems like something you have to do alone. And then we also have Four of Swords putting something to rest. Yeah. I do feel like you could be changing your mind about something too. Eight of Wands. Okay, so you don't want to move too hasty here. Let's see, August. What am I picking up? I feel like you're gaining control of a situation by making some sort of decision that involves movement. So either you're picking up and going somewhere physically or mentally or career-wise. Could also be related to health as well. But there's a decision here that's very impactful. Four of Swords. And we got Eight of Wands. So it could almost feel like sudden. You might even be forced into this decision. And when I say forced, I mean more so like the circumstances have pushed you to make this decision. Alright. Clarify the Chariot. Yeah, you feel like you needed more freedom in whatever situation you were in. And it wasn't giving you the level of freedom that you needed. Rejection. Yeah, okay. Definitely moving towards, away from something and towards something else. You know, that seems to be a theme here for August. We got impartiality and creation. Okay. And isolation. Yep. So yeah, you're definitely doing something alone or making a decision that heavily impacts you and either your household or your health or career. Okay, those are the things on the board. Okay, well, what else here? I also feel like you're detached with this rejection card, and then also you've got impartiality, where it kind of feels like you're detached from other people's opinions or what other people need or things like that. You've kind of detached from it and really focused on what's going to benefit you. And you're focused on creating something different than what you had, because like I said, what you had wasn't giving you the level of freedom that you wanted. Okay? So again, this could be, you know, a personal journey of you changing some habits or picking up behaviors, habits that are going to be more beneficial to the life that you're trying to create for yourself. Could be for some of you leaving a relationship or leaving a situation, friendship, just something. But this is where you're coming from, it feels like, dissipating. Where you felt like you were watching other people live out what you wanted to. Or just, not really being as active as you wanted to. Not really. It just kind of seems like, yeah, you weren't really feeling fulfilled. And so I feel like with this wisdom card coming through, this could also be maybe something that you saw online, or something that you heard, something that you read, something that kind of came across your awareness that let you know that you could go a different route or do something different. Can you tell me a little bit more about this change or this decision? Not enough. Frustrated in relationships, see? Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, focusing out. Yeah, there is a lack of ambition here. And the chaser. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Fear, ego, issues, jealousy. Not enough. So, for some of you, on a personal level, it just kind of feels like you're operating from a vibration that you don't want to operate from. You weren't feeling like yourself, like in your power, and so when you're not feeling in your power, then you make decisions that aren't gonna reflect your highest good. So for the month of August, I just see like an energy shift for you, especially here with this the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles, because it just seems like you're packing up an old way of being, and you're marching towards something that you have a little bit more control over, more voice over, more say in, and that in itself is giving your power back. I do also feel like you're saying no to something. Okay, so this could have to do with, saying no to the way somebody's treating you, or saying no to certain behaviors that you've been doing, saying no to whatever. Also, saying no to people expecting a lot from you or wanting things from you, because I was just drawn to this impartiality card of just being neutral and just kind of, going with the flow, not being tugged in one way or another. Okay. So I do also feel like somebody's trying to hold on to you with this chaser and this Four of Swords card. But like I said, I feel like you're detached. Okay. And you might not even be expecting this detachment, because with the Eight of Wands, this is something that's happening very quickly. And it almost feels like out of the blue. So it might be just one day you're watching something on TV and there's a certain quote that's said or whatever, and you're like, and then you're over here like, and it just kind of, something clicks for you, So, I would keep an eye out, or pay attention to what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're taking in throughout the month of August, because I feel like there's these nuggets for you to pick up on. Like your spiritual team is giving you these nuggets of like, how you can go about something better. All right. Knight of Pentacles. I do also feel like there's a period of rest for you. So like maybe you were running around trying to do things for other people, or just like having a lot of responsibilities and stuff, but you could also be taking some time to rest yourself. going on vacation, staying somewhere, like maybe over at a friend's house or a parent's house for a couple days or something like that. I don't know. But I just feel like there's a shift in environment or setting just for a little bit of time. For some of you, it's a complete change. But for others of you, I feel like it's just more for rest. Like you need to get your bearings, get out of this energy a little bit and then get back to what you need to do. So I just feel like there's this rest period, shift in energy, shift in perspective of where you're like, yeah, even with this isolation, like, okay, I need time alone. Yeah, especially with this Knight of Pentacles, he's really giving, time alone, my own decisions, my way. Like, that's what's coming through. Let's see what else I've got. I do also feel like you're taking some sort of risk with this creation card. So you might be focusing on something you want to turn into a business or turn into something long term, but it's not long term yet. So I do feel like you're pulling your energy away from something and putting it into something else that you want to be a little bit more long term or consistent within your life. Okay. For somebody here, this creation card could be referring to something you're creating. Like you could be creating physical products, physical things, carpentry, crafts, something like that, that you want to be a little bit more substantial in your life or have more of a impact in your life. And so I feel like you are kind of taking time to focus more on that instead of your other responsibilities. Okay. I do feel the energy of a parent coming through here. Like I just feel like either like a parent, a nanny, babysitter, someone who cares for, like healthcare, caregiver, something like that. I do feel like there's a group of people who resonate in that with that, who aren't really feeling like themselves because, that's their responsibility. And so with this isolation card coming up, I do feel like you are paying a little bit more attention to yourself, wanting to dress up, wanting to go out, wanting to rest, but rest not being like, okay, hold on. So Four of Swords meaning, wanting to rest, but this doesn't mean laying in the bed and sleeping more or anything like that. To me, what's happening is you're feeling like you want to feel more like yourself, right? So I just see that you are, dressing up, trying to, maybe going to an event, going out, doing something like that, but you're wanting to create more energy. It's like you're energy deficient, and you're trying to cultivate more energy by doing something else. Look, not enough. So yeah, I just feel like with this Knight of Pentacles, you're getting your bearings by shifting out of a routine. There it is. Okay. All right. Oops. Intention. Intention is simply allowing the will and the mind to align and move in harmony. May I always focus on the highest. My intention is that all God's wishes for me come true. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been saying is like you've been kind of in this routine or like, have certain responsibilities that you've been tending to day in, day out and all that. But now you're kind of like, how can I shift up my life a little bit to serve me better? Okay, and it all stems from your actions aligning with what you actually want, what your intentions are. And so you just have to move. So that's what I feel you doing. You've got 2 movement cards here. Well, 3. You got these 2, and then you got this one. So you got 3 movement cards, you guys. So I just definitely feel like you're getting up, getting active, shifting up where your environment, where you're staying at, where you're going to, who you're talking to and listening to. All right. So, okay. And then wisdom, look. You got this wisdom coming in. So I just see that you are focused on enriching your life a little bit more. And you're taking more control over that. You're understanding that it's your choice. That, you know. All right. Well, good luck, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.